Well, it is one of those typical cold winter Delhi mornings, and it is an exciting one because as you can see, we've got a Porsche with us. Now, this is the Porsche Cayenne E Hybrid. But if you're thinking that we are just going to go about reviewing this car, well, that is not what this video is about. This is a very special video. Well, of course, we will tell you more about this car, but then again, there will be a lot more happening. You'll be listening a lot more about Porsche in this video, and I guarantee you it is going to be quite interesting, especially if you are a Porsche enthusiast. So let us not keep you waiting anymore and get along, going and get into this lovely car and have a blast. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the special thing I was talking about when I just told you outside the car. It's not just a normal review of a Porsche. Well, we have Pavan Shetty with us here today. He's the top boss man at Porsche India, and he's agreed to give us time wherein we are now in the Porsche Cayenne E Hybrid, and I'm fortunate enough to being driven around by Pavan in a while. Well, I will also drive him. But it's time to get to some interesting questions and have a chat with Pavan about Porsche, and that is going to be really interesting. So thank you so much, Pavan, for giving time to us, and I hope you're enjoying the cold winter morning in Delhi.
Yes, quite different from what I'm used to coming from Mumbai. Yeah, it's nice, good change.
I'll just start off with your basic take on Porsche's journey so far in India. How has this journey personally been for you, and what have been the highlights for Porsche in India till date?
First of all, I must tell you, it's really difficult to focus on anything else while you're driving a Porsche. So
Yes,
that's a battle in my mind right now as to split attention between a nice interview and driving this beautiful car.
Yes.
And I will try my best. Journey in Porsche has been nothing short of being called super exciting. We introduced Macan at a price point where it is an extremely great value proposition at 69.98 lakhs. That made the family complete with the launch of the new Cayenne E3 last year. And here we are in Delhi about to launch our Cayenne Coupe,
Yes,
the most beautiful Cayenne I've ever seen. Also, we did something really strong to re-establish our position in the sports car segment. The 911 holds the records across categories in India, from being the fastest street legal car in the Delhi circuit to a GT3 RS being the fastest 911 on the Chennai circuit. And this only goes to say that a Porsche sports car stands out, and for the right reasons. I was actually telling someone that if someone gives me any probability or any permutation combination of his requirement, I could offer him a car in Porsche. We have a lot of options within our portfolio for driving enthusiasts, and that is the only condition we have, that when you buy a Porsche, you make sure that you really enjoy driving.
I mean, of course, yeah, as you mentioned, a great journey in India. Apart from this, I'm sure India is a very different market from many of the other Western markets. So what kind of challenges have you faced in the Indian market? What have been the key challenges for Porsche in India?
So when I describe India to my colleagues at my headquarters, I told them, don't look at India as one country. This is a combination of many countries within one country. So I said, if I were to go to some state down south, despite me being a South Indian, the language is different, the food is different, the cultures are different, and I'm as much as a foreigner sometimes as you are, just that I don't need a passport. Everything here and the diversity is great. At the same time, from a business perspective, it also makes it complicated. Being a huge country, and given the fact that the dispersion of affluent is quite well spread, we have to then devise strategies to make sure that we are reaching them and giving them a standardized approach, be it sales or after sales. And then deployment of resources towards this objective has to be planned quite meticulously. Because we will remain a small company, we cater to super luxury customers, we cater to their emotional needs, and we cannot make a mistake. At the same time, we cannot be present everywhere. So this is a dilemma, or this is a problem that we need to really overcome very well, and we are working very hard towards it.
Approximately how many Porsches have you sold in India till date?
So more or less we'll have upwards of 3,500 cars on the road. But what I really like is the composition. One would expect Porsche in India to be primarily only SUV selling brand, given our affinity to size and ground clearance. So, but that's not true. We follow almost the same distribution as the brand follows globally. We have 10% contribution from 911. And in fact, what has been really incredible is the amount of interest people have shown in the GT segment, or what we call as really special 911s, be it a GT3, GT3 RS, GT2 RS. And I honestly never expected that to happen, because those are track spec cars. So that really told me that we've done a decent job in terms of building a brand.
So what is the percentage of Cayenne in terms of sales for you?
So first of all, I think Cayenne is the most popular model from the Porsche stable in India, contributing to around 45% of sales, so almost 50%. So it is a very important model within the Indian context.
All right, so now as you can see, well, Pawan and I have switched places, and well, the reason for that is the car we're in, like I told you earlier, we're driving a Porsche Cayenne e-hybrid now. Pawan, I've been told that the car you drive, your car is again not exactly this one, but you drive the same model. So Pawan, what is it about the e-hybrid that you really like, and how different is it to drive from a regular Cayenne?
So what I really like about e-hybrid, the first thing which comes to my mind is how quiet is it when it's driven on a battery mode.
Yes, that's correct.
This is fantastic, because you just have after a long day, you have your moment where you just want everything to just be quiet, and it offers a perfect atmosphere for you to relax.
True.
But Porsche is not all about relaxation. The battery unit also supplies up to 110 horsepower to the car.
Wow.
And that's how this car gets close to 460 horsepower in totality with the combustion engine.
Wow.
And that makes it a very powerful car. This can do 0 to 100 in just about 5.1 seconds.
That's pretty much like a sport car category. For an SUV of this size, it's an amazing number.
I have a charger in my office, 11 kilowatt charger, and I charge this car in about 2.5 hours only, and that gives me a range of upward 40 kilometers. So typically on a good day, I'm able to reach home and also cover half a distance back to office
without using the engine at all. That's great.
And if I'm able to install a charging unit at my home as well, then I'm not using the engine at all for the whole week.
Right.
And that, not just from an economics point of view, but also from the point of view of emission.
Right.
I think it's a great step forward.
Right.
But on a good day, when you're doing really a long drive, and you really want to enjoy a bit of power under the bonnet, and then you move into a Sports Plus mode where both units come together and really give you the power that you need to be able to drive this car to limits that is permissible in the country.
Right.
And the right thing to do that would be on a racetrack, of course. So all in all, hero car, efficient, powerful, and yet very comfortable.
Absolutely.
So that's what really makes the hybrid so close to my heart.
That brings us to the highlight of this conversation, what you were telling us earlier. Really good looking Cayenne Coupe that is about to be launched, and that's the reason why you are here in Delhi. Tell us a bit about the Cayenne Coupe. Really the reason to get it to India. Did you do any kind of a research, or did you get feedback from your customers that they want a vehicle like this?
See, the first reason why somebody would buy a Porsche, as I told you earlier, is absolutely the driving dynamics of it.
Right.
Okay. So anything that accentuates it
Mhm.
would obviously have takers, and there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So when you see the design of a coupe,
Yeah.
there have been coupes before with other brands, but what really stands out Cayenne in its coupe body format is very clear that a coupe in other brands will have a compromised headroom at the rear seat.
Yes, that's very common across most coupe
But
SUVs.
with a Cayenne coupe, it's designed in a way where despite you losing some of the height,
Mhm.
the seat is designed in a way where the headroom in this car, which
Right.
is not a coupe, and a coupe is not different.
Okay, so between a standard Cayenne and the Cayenne Coupe, the difference in headroom is not really much.
It's not there. Yeah.
Wow.
On top, um, obviously, now since you have a coupe, you expect it to be able to have better aerodynamics. So you have an active spoiler,
Okay.
which deploys over 90 kilometers per hour.
Mm-hmm.
You have some of the performance function as standard. For example, the sports chrono package, where you are able to choose the drive mode is standard on that car. It's optional on this car.
Okay.
You have a good 20-inch wheels, which is standard. Plus, you don't have an option of you only get a glass roof in that car. Of course, you can also choose a carbon fiber roof,
Okay.
and all in all, that drops close to around 20 kg in the car.
Wow.
And it does, the Cayenne Coupe Turbo does 0 to 100 in just about 3.9 seconds.
Wow.
And in my opinion, I think that's quite fast for a 2-ton SUV.
Yes.
Reaching that speed so quickly. And so that is what makes Cayenne Coupe completely a different product.
Mm-hmm.
The design, obviously, whenever you see the car, it is the most beautiful Cayenne that I have seen.
Yeah.
The fly line is fantastic. Definitely remind you of the 911.
Yes, I can see every time you say the Cayenne Coupe, it just brings up a smile on your face.
For me, I think it will be true for all the Porsche models.
Yes, yes.
And I had a pleasure of driving it in Nice, and the car handling is absolutely like a thoroughbred sports car.
Wow.
Its ability to corner, hold the road is fantastic. And I've already told you what Cayenne is all about, and
Yes.
some of these features which get accentuated, I think really adds to the entire character of the car.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
and that makes the car absolutely attractive.
In India, what is the kind of uptake for these optional packages within Porsche? Because I'm sure most of our viewers know that Porsches, not all Porsches are same. You can customize them like really well as per your preference. So, what is the uptake for such performance packages and interior or design packages?
So performance packages are quite high in demand because, as I said earlier, most of our customers are the ones who drive the car themselves.
Right.
So obviously, a Porsche when you buy, you would also like to have the option that Porsche provides in terms of enhancing the driving performance.
True.
Apart from that, when you talk about interiors, our customers really like to individualize their combinations.
Right.
And we, as you rightly said, we offer them so many options where almost most car becomes unique. And I think
Right.
that's where we stand out. No two cars are usually same.
Yes.
Be it the wheel size, be it the wheel design, be it the color of the car, be it the combination of interiors, be it the choice of wood that you want to use in the car,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. So there could be a unique story to every car, and I think that's what our customers like. Because
Right.
even if somebody he knows has a car, that car would not be similar to this car.
I'm sure a lot of Porsche enthusiasts would want to know what next, what can we expect from Porsche in India in the coming time. Two parts to it. One, in terms of the exciting cars, what new Porsche models we can expect, and second, in terms of business, what are your expectations from the Indian market in the coming years?
So let's talk about the cars. As I'm sure you already know that Taycan was has done its global debut,
Yes.
and it's a matter of time that it also comes to India, and we intend to introduce it to this country around the mid of next year.
Okay.
So Taycan would be, of course, the first Porsche electric car. I'm looking for objectives to do justice to that car, and I always fail. And it's a car that words cannot describe. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
And I can be easily looked upon someone that would anyway say it because I work for the brand. But this is not just me. This is everyone who's driven that car has nothing different to what I say to describe that car. It is an
Yes.
absolutely engineering marvel. For a car of that weight, it is a dream to drive.
Mm-hmm.
Very intelligent, very smartly developed.
Right.
Will have a range of close to 450 odd kilometers as per the European drive cycle. It's only when you push the pedal you realize what that car has to offer.
Yeah.
The sudden surge of power, the immediate reaction to your decision to increase power,
Yes.
the fact that you can keep doing launch controls in an electric car and the car doesn't get tired already says a lot about the Taycan.
Absolutely.
And whenever I say it, I say don't call it Taycan, call it Porsche Taycan. Because when you add the brand Porsche,
Yes.
a lot of adjectives automatically get added to the car. A great driving car, good quality driving car. Performance would talk for itself.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with a 800 volt architecture, which means you can charge it up to 100 kilometers in just about 4 minutes.
Wow.
On a DC cycle, on a DC charger.
Yeah.
And you can go up to 80% of charging with just about 22-23 minutes on a DC charger.
And so, in terms of business, how do you expect the coming years to be?
From a business perspective, I think, as I told earlier, we run a luxury brand, and life would not change every year in a big spike upward or downward. That's not how this business is designed to be. We are in here for a long run. We are running a marathon and not a sprint, and we would grow step by step in a sustainable manner. The objective right now is really to build a solid organization, processes to make sure that our customers are able to really enjoy the Porsche promise. They have the experience that any Porsche customer would have worldwide, and we are working very hard for that because our customers are quite intense and emotional about the cars that they drive, and the objective is not just to meet those expectations but to beat those expectations, and that would not be easy.
Okay. And before we come to the end of this conversation, Pavan, one Porsche that you would like to have, you would like to own. One Porsche, if there was one Porsche that you would want to own, which one would that be?
As in a one every month, or
No, your top pick, just one. Your favorite.
it would not be a surprise at all. I mean, it all started with 911,
Yes.
and if I have to start my journey with Porsche, buying my Porsche, it will also start with the 911. But it would definitely not be the last car, is all I can tell you. It is so addictive that you can't stop at one, because 911 does what it does to you, but then you drive a Macan. Though the word coined for it is a compact SUV, I would describe it as an elevated 911, and it completely lives up to that promise. And of course, I have a family, so Panamera won't hurt either. I'm now getting greedy. And then there is also a nice 718 for city use once in a while. So of course, I don't think I could really stop at one, but if I have to start somewhere, of course it would be the 911, and it would be true for most of us at Porsche.
Great. Thank you so much for the time, Pavan. It's been great talking to you.
Same here. Pleasure is all mine.